Welcome to the digital classes. Students, how are you all? I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to learn about a new topic. Let us know that. Students, do you know how we perceive things around us? Yes, of course. With the use of our senses, we know the world around us. Eyes help us to see the things. Ears help us to hear sound. Nose help us to smell. Tongue help us to taste. And skin help us in sense of touch. Children, which organ is very important? Yes, of course, all senses are important, but I tell that eyes are very important. Why? Because we perceive our world around us with the eyes by 80%. We perceive almost 80% of our world with the use of eyes. We see objects around us with the help of eyes. But why can't we see objects in the dark? Any guesses? The answer to the question is light. What is light then? Light is a form of energy which helps us in the sense of sight. The sources of light: the sun, the lighting electric bulb and burning candles, etc., are called sources of light or luminous objects. Non-luminous: the objects which cannot emit their own light called non-sources of light or non-luminous objects, such as chair, door, pencil, dolls, and of course our earth and moon. You may think that moon will give us light at the full moon day in the night too, but moon does not emit its own light, it reflects the light of sun. Children, let us know how we are able to see an object. Suppose here is a doll. How far we are able to see it? Yes, because of the light coming from the doll enters to our eye and we can see the doll. As this doll is a non-luminous or it is a non-source of light, how far we are able to see it? Yes, the light from a light source, the light from the light source comes and fall and the object and the reflected light enters our eye. This is how we can see our surroundings. Types of objects based on light passage through them. According to the light passage through the objects are categorized into three substances. Consider that light coming from source touches the surface, it reaches the surface of object and reflects, and the reflected light reaches our eye, hence we are able to see it. Light a candle. Take a glass and arrange it in between you and candle. As the glass allows light to pass through it totally, you will able to see it, the candle clearly, and we are not able to see the shadow of the glass. Take a butter paper and arrange it in between you and candle. As the butter paper allows light to pass through it partially, you will not able to see the candle clearly. Take a cardboard and arrange it in between you and candle. As the cardboard does not allow light to pass through it totally, you will not be able to see the candle completely, and the shadow of the cardboard will see clearly. As we discussed earlier, what are opaque substances? The substances like paper, wood, iron, etc. do not allow light to pass through them are called opaque substances. These objects form clear shadows. Transparent substances. The substances like glass and pure water allow light to pass through them totally, and hence they are called as transparent substances. We do not get their shadows. Translucent substances. The substances such as polythene cover and oily paper partially allow the light to pass through them. These are called translucent substances. The shadows of these kind of substances are unclear. Shadow is a dark area where light from a light source is blocked by an opaque object. Children, do you know what we need to form a shadow? Let us know. To form a shadow, we need a light source. Take opaque objects and take a screen. Make the light to fall in front of these opaque objects. As the opaque objects does not allow the light to pass through them, you will see shadow of these objects. Here you can see the shadow in the shape of a trophy, but the original object is not a trophy. The objects are arranged in a shape of a trophy. Children, let us do this activity. Observe these shadows and guess what objects they are caused by. I am also guessing with you. The first shadow will be a ball. The second shadow will be from a tree. The third shadow will be from an iron nail. The fourth shadow will be from a flying bird, and last shadow will be from a rabbit. Let us see the answers. Oh my God, some of my guesses are correct and some of my answers are wrong. I guessed the shadow of a ball. Yes, it is correct. And I guessed the shadow of a tree. Yes, it is correct, but is in different angle. I guessed that this shadow will be an iron nail, but the original one is a musical instrument. And the fourth shadow, I thought it would be a bird's one, but the shadow is formed with the help of hands. And the last one also, I thought that it would be a shadow of a rabbit, but it is also formed with a hand. Then we can conclude that by looking at the shadows of objects, we cannot be say that which object it formed from, and the color of the shadow is always black. The shape of a shadow depends upon how we arranged opaque objects in front of the light, and the size of light source, the distance between objects and light source, and the angle of light fall on the opaque objects. Children, then how we are able to see all the objects around us? Let us know. How we are able to see objects? Consider there is a light source. You may know that the light will emit from the light source in all directions, isn't it? Consider light traveling from the light source is called as a light ray. Here the light ray touches the surface called M1. What happens then? As the M dash is an opaque object, it reflects the light. The light which is came from source and touches the surface is called incident ray. After the incident ray has touched the surface, it reflects back. So, the ray from the surface to reflected is called reflected ray. Here we want to know that the reflected ray reflects in a certain angle only. It does not reflect here and here. Why? Because the reflection follows some laws. Reflection of light. When light falls on any object, it rebounds back. This phenomenon is called reflection of light. Mirrors. Children, have you ever seen a mirror? Yes, of course, you might be. Mirror is a surface typically of glass coated with a metal amalgam which reflects the light and forms a clear image. When will you be able to see clear images of yourself in a plane mirror? Point a torch toward the mirror so that its light falls on the mirror, which holds up as shown in the video, and try to see your image in the mirror. Are you able to see your image in the mirror clearly? Of course, no. You will not be able to see your image clearly. Then turn the torch towards your face as shown in the video and see your image in the mirror. Are you able to see your image in the mirror? Yes, of course. You will find that when light is focused on your face, you can see your image clearly in the mirror. Children, let us see how a plane mirror reflects our image. Let us observe how light rays reflects on plane mirror. Reflection on plane mirror. Here see PQ is a plane mirror. This side is a reflection side and this side is a coated side. As you know, mirror has two sides. One side is coated with metal amalgam. A ray which is coming from light source will fall on the mirror. This ray is called as incident ray at the point O. Here the point O is called as point of incident. Now we are drawing a line from O to N which is perpendicular to PQ is called the normal. ON is a normal line at the point of incident. Then the incident ray reflects back. This ray is called as reflected ray. See students, the angle between normal to incident ray is called as angle of incident, and the angle formed between normal line to reflected ray is called as angle of reflection. Now measure the angles with the help of a protractor. For this instance, the angle of incident is equal to 40 degrees, and also measure the angle of reflection. You will wonder to know that angle of reflection is also measured as 40 degrees. From this activity, you will know that angle of incident is equal to angle of reflection. Then how do we get an image in a mirror? Let us see. Observe this video. Here a child is playing in front of a mirror. Here these children are also playing in front of a mirror. Observe it carefully. The light which falls on you get reflected, and a number of reflected light rays from you that falls on the mirror also get reflected back. These reflected rays reaches your eyes and make you see your image in the mirror. The formation of image in the mirror is due to reflection of light rays from the mirror. Let us observe another example. A ray of light coming from a candle or fall on the mirror. It reflects the light and the person is able to see the image of a candle in the mirror. Characteristics of image formed by a plane mirror. Lateral inversion. Observe the student is standing in front of a mirror. The student has his pocket on his shirt on left side, but in the mirror it is showing in right side. Another student has raised his right hand, but in the mirror it is appearing as he has raised left hand. Lateral inversion. In mirror, right of an object appears left and the left of the object appears right. The interchange in sides in the mirror is called lateral inversion. You see how the name Surya is coming rightly in the mirror. Actually, the original name is laterally inverted. Stand in front of a big mirror. Observe your image. Step back and step forward 1 foot. Estimate the distance from you to the mirror and the distance from the mirror to the image. What did you observe? Place an object in front of the mirror. Compare the size of the object with its image. Irrespective of the size of mirror, the size of image and the size of object are equal. Characteristics of image formed by a plane mirror are: the distance between object to mirror is equal to the distance between mirror and image. The size of image and the size of object are equal. The image formed by a mirror, right of the object appears as left and the left of the object appears as right. This is called lateral inversion. Loss of reflection. To know the loss of reflection, we need to perform a lab activity. To this activity, the aim of this activity is verification of loss of reflection. The required material are mirror strip, drawing board, white paper, pins, clamps, scale and pencil. Take a drawing board and fix a white paper on it with the help of clamps. Draw a straight line PQ making certain angle with ON. With the help of a protractor, a normal ON to AB at the point O. Draw normal line ON. Draw a straight line PQ making certain angle with ON. This is called as incident ray. Draw small strip lines on the backside of AB line segment. This indicates the symbol of a mirror. Fold the paper along the AB and place a plane mirror vertically. Fix 2 pins at the point P and Q on the paper vertically. Observe it. Observe the image P dash of the pin P and Q dash of the pin Q in the mirror kept along the line AB. Fix 2 more pins R and S such that they are in the same line as that of P dash and Q dash and join R, S and O with the help of a scale. P dash, Q dash are called as R, S. Join the line R, S and O. Now measure the angle between RS and ON. This is called angle of reflection, and the angle between PQ and ON. This is called angle of incident. You will find that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Here the angle of incident equal to 30 degrees and also angle of reflection is equal to 30 degrees. Angle formed between normal ON and PQ is called as angle of incident and it is denoted with angle of I. Here the angle of incident is equal to 30 degrees and angle formed between normal ON and RS is called as angle of reflection and it is denoted with angle of R. Here the angle of reflection is equal to 30 degrees. That means angle of incident equal to angle of reflection. Repeat the experiment for different angles of incident I and measure the corresponding angles of reflection R. Record your observations in the table. you will find that angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. From the experiment, we found that the angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. Here see, the AO is an incident ray, OB is reflected ray, and the ON is normal line. Here the AO, incident ray, OB reflected ray, and ON, the three are in a same plane. This plane is called as plane of reflection. The angle I is equal to angle of R. Then what is plane of reflection? The plane in which the incident ray, reflected ray, and normal lies in the plane of reflection. Here the plane of reflection, we may consider that the screen. In the screen only we can see incident ray, reflected ray, and also normal. These three lies on same plane. That plane is called as plane of reflection. Another law of reflection is the incident ray, reflected ray, and normal lies in a same plane. The plane is called as plane of reflection. So we can conclude from this activity the laws of reflection are: first law, the angle of incident is equal to angle of reflection. Second law, incident ray, reflected ray, and normal lies on same plane. Students, let us know what you have learned today. What we have learned: light is a form of energy which helps us in the sense of sight. Some objects emit the light in their own. For example, like the sun, lighting electric bulbs and burning candles are called sources of light or luminous objects. The objects which cannot emit their own light called non-sources of light or non-luminous objects, such as chair, wall, table, paper, etc. According to the light passage through the objects are categorized into three substances, viz. Opaque, transparent, and translucent objects. Shadow is a dark area where light from a light source blocked by an opaque object. When light falls on any object, it rebounds back. This phenomenon is called reflection of light. Mirror is a smooth surface, typically of glass coated with a metal amalgam, which reflects light and forms a clear image. Characteristics of image formed by a plane mirror are: the distance between object and mirror is equal to the distance between mirror and image. The size of image and the size of object are equal. In the image formed by a mirror, right of the object appears as left and left of the object appears as right. This is called lateral inversion. Angle of incident and angle of reflection is always equal. Incident ray, reflected ray, and normal lies on a same plane. This is called plane of reflection. Children, let us improve our learning. What is light, and write some sources of light. Give two examples each for transparent, opaque, and translucent objects. Explain reflection of light with an example. Write the characteristics of image formed by a plane mirror. State the laws of reflection and explain an activity to verify them. In the front of the ambulance, why the word ambulance is written like lateral inversion? Guess the reason and explain. Children, have you learned? Today we have discussed about some basic concepts of light. On next class, we will come with another topic. Till then, enjoy the learning. Thank you.